Hey, rock stars, if your fab shop's overwhelmed or your supplier's missing deadlines, that's not just frustrating, it's costing you real money. That's why you call HyperFab. Based in Lethbridge, Alberta, Canada, and trusted across North America, they deliver custom metal fabrication for industries where precision and speed matter most. Construction, oil and gas, manufacturing, and agriculture. From fiber laser cutting and CNC bending to welding, assembly, and finishing, they do it all in-house with fast turnarounds, tight tolerances, and no handoffs. One prototype, full production, no problem. HyperFab shows up when others can't and delivers when others don't. Head to www.hyperfab.com or call Colin Harms at 1-403-308-3308. Fabrication without compromise. That's the HyperFab edge.
You know, the sleepless nights, the conversations, I can't watch the news anymore. I can't listen to the updates. I still think that way today. Up until even a month ago, we had a big blow and we had to figure it out. But guess what? We figure it out. That's what I think, and why I'm feeling so good about 2026 is we've had to figure things out. Yeah. We've had to shift on the fly. I've used that a lot. We shift on the fly. Right? We don't just sit there and go, oh, what's happening to us? It's made us better.
The great Mark Cuban once said, business happens over years and years. Value is measured in the total upside of a business relationship, not by how much you squeezed out in any one deal. And we couldn't agree more. This is the Business Development Podcast, based in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and broadcasting to the world. You'll get expert business development advice, tips and experiences, and you'll hear interviews with business owners, CEOs, and business development reps. You'll get actionable advice on how to grow business. Brought to you by Capital Business Development, capitalbd.ca. Let's do it. Welcome to the Business Development Podcast. And now your expert host, Kelly Kennedy.
Hello, welcome to episode 301 of the Business Development Podcast. And today is a really special one because we are officially kicking off the 300s with my friend, my mentor, and a man whose company is helping power this show into its biggest year yet, Colin Harms. Colin is a serial entrepreneur, a visionary director of business development at HyperVac Technologies and HyperFab, a podcaster, and a trusted leader in Southern Alberta business. He is also a board member with the Lethbridge Community Chamber of Commerce, and the kind of person who does not just talk about community, but he shows up for it week over week. Colin and I originally connected because of this very podcast back in 2023. And since then, he has been a steady light in our corner, supporting our mission and pushing me to keep raising the standard year over year. And today, I get to share something that I am genuinely proud of. HyperVac Technologies and HyperFab are officially the title sponsors of the Business Development Podcast for 2026. This partnership is more than a logo and an ad read. It's a shared belief in what this show stands for, educating and inspiring leaders while helping people build real momentum. Colin's journey is a masterclass in persistence and leadership, from his early days learning the value of work ethic and relationships to nearly 2 decades leading in complex, high accountability industry, to betting on himself and acquiring HyperVac Technologies with his partners, which is North America's leading air duct truck and portable vacuum manufacturer. He is a builder who thinks in systems, plays the long game, and believes that great businesses are created by great people, strong culture, and a relentless follow-through. Whether you've been listening since episode 1 or you are brand new here, you are stepping into a milestone moment with us. Colin, it is my absolute pleasure to welcome you back to our stage to kick off the 300s.
Hey, thanks for the intro. Always, always a great intro from you. And it's kind of interesting every time I listen to all the podcasts and everybody's like, whoa. So thank you for that. It's been a good ride, man.
Yeah.
I can't even think where I would be without this relationship. And that's no joke. Like it has done so much for me. It's taught me that sometimes we need to stop looking where we're looking for something to happen and just
Yeah.
let things happen. And also taught me reach out to people. When I reached out to you, I had no idea who you are. I had no idea what you were about. The only thing I knew was that I downloaded a podcast on Spotify and I felt the urge to reach out. And so here we are today, partners on the Authentic Hustle podcast. Your support for my businesses has been amazing, and we're very thankful for that. And we know it's propelled our company forward. More so than that, Kelly, your friendship and what you've done for me personally, building up my confidence level. You may not know that. I'm a pretty confident person, but if you don't have somebody in your corner, that just fades away.
Yeah.
Right? It'll fade away and you don't notice it fading away.
Yeah.
And so thank you for that. Every week, you have an incredible drive that keeps me going, keeps me on my toes.
Likewise.
I didn't, like being committed to every Wednesday, being committed to, it's more than just every Wednesday, right? It's the advice, it's the conversations, it's the non-business related conversations we have that almost mean more, for sure, as much or more than the other ones.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it the wrong way, but I wasn't looking for a friend, but I found a really great friend. So that means a lot to me.
Yeah. Yeah. My gosh. Yeah. I had no idea how much, our relationship would impact my life. And it just has. And it's so funny. Like 2.5 years has just absolutely flown by. And I think we're going to talk about that today, about just how fast the years seem to be going at this point.
Yeah.
But when I look back to when we first connected, I really have to credit you for a level of motivation that really helped me through those beginning episodes. It was like episode 21, you sent me a video and it was just a motivational video, just being like, dude, 21 episodes, like you're absolutely crushing it. Keep at it. And, most podcasters, and now you're a podcaster, so you get it. Like it's a slog. And I think a lot of shows by about episode 21 are like, oh, like, what am I doing? Like, should I keep showing up to this week over week, especially in the beginning? Because there's no return. There's no ROI. There's just you showing up week over week, pouring your heart out, trying to make a difference, trying to build a show. And, you don't know what you don't know at 21 episodes. I was still learning everything. I was feeling overwhelmed. And that like encouraging message, I think really kept me going in that moment. And it was the kick in the ass I needed at the right time. You didn't know it, but I don't know, man, like is a divine message. Let's call it that.
Yeah, I would call it a divine connection for sure. Right. And one that we know we need something.
Yeah.
And it comes at the right time.
Yeah.
So I feel the same way. And 2 years has ripped by.
Yeah.
And the last year in particular, I don't know without these types of relationships, honestly, where I would be, just because of the environment, the economy, just personal things that you go through, how you get through them. You get through them one day at a time, 1 week at a time. And when you look back and you go, oh, that was 50 weeks. That was 50 weeks ago. Like that's some serious time.
Yeah.
Right? Like a lot happens in one day, let alone 50 weeks. So I'm just so excited. And honestly, because of you, and even like I'll use this morning, one of my favorite days of the week, I used to always say, I love every day that ends in Y, right? That's every day.
Yeah.
But my favorite one is Wednesday, because I know when I get to the gym, it's instant, boom. And I play the Wednesday podcast.
Yeah.
Right. And today was no joke. That was incredible. Like I actually worked out longer because it wasn't over yet. So it was great. But it's just having something to look forward to, I think changes our lives. Right.
Yeah.
It's like people look forward to a holiday. Right. I don't want to look forward to the holiday 6 months or a year from now. I want to look forward to Tuesday. I want to look forward to Wednesday. I want to look forward to every day that ends in Y.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No, it was funny because before the show, we were talking about Authentic Hustle. So for our listeners who may or may not know, we have another show together. It's funny because we pretty much had this interview 100 times. It kind of feels like, because we literally get together every Wednesday with Vijay and Swami Nathan and just have a great, authentic conversation about business. It's a YouTube show. For those of you who maybe haven't heard of that show yet, you can catch it on YouTube. It's called Authentic Hustle. And so it's, I've probably interviewed you more than anybody else in the world.
For sure. Well, and maybe that's why we know each other so well, right? Without it. And I've had people too ask me, how do you know Kelly? How do you know Vijay? And I'm like, we don't need to go there. We just do. But when you start telling the story, I think that's what people resonate with.
Yeah.
Right. And I think it gives, I don't mean our story, I mean a story. That's what gives people hope. That's what gives me hope to hear, like even listening to the podcast this morning. And I'm like, this is so weird that Kelly's interviewing this guy. like the guy that saw the Beatles when he was 6 and he was a front man. Like when he explained what the manager of a band does.
Yeah.
I was like, are you kidding me? Like how can you even do all that?
No kidding.
And then you're dealing with real people in real people's lives. But then I thought back, I'm like, Kelly, I got to give this to you because you're always proud of your family. You're proud of people you know. Let's say I don't have a friend that won the Stanley Cup because I cheer for the Oilers. They don't win the Stanley Cups.
Not yet. Not
yet. But I listened to that and I'm like, holy, this is my friend interviewing this guy. This is so cool. And then I think I am actually that close to that guy.
Yeah.
Right? Like, not that I need to, but if I ever need to, hey, Kelly, introduce me to that guy. I don't think he's buying an air duct truck.
Probably not.
But you know what I mean? Like, it's so cool to just know that.
Yeah.
Right? And then, so kudos to you. Kudos to me looking forward to that I just love looking forward to that every week. And then also Sunday, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, there's another one coming. It's on the top of my list. I look forward to the Authentic Hustle. Why? Because it pulls the best out of me.
Yeah.
Right. I have to be on my A game. And I've watched a lot of things about people, they quit drinking or they did this or why did they? And they said they don't have enough time for downtime, like to be off. It's just what it does to them. And I don't care if somebody does or doesn't, whatever you choose. But I look at my days. I don't have a bunch of free time in my days. I make free time. But what I do, I really look forward to it, right? If that makes sense. And I plan for it. Like our Wednesdays, I plan for all of that. Then you talk about the sponsorship. Well, I plan for that, right? I'm going to sow seed into what I'm getting fruit from, right? So this, as much as I can give into it, I know I'm going to get tenfold out of it.
Yeah. Yeah. And man, like without it, it's almost impossible to continue shows like this. I think that's important for some of our listeners to understand. You'll start a podcast because of passion, but you'll continue a podcast because of people getting behind you and supporting you. Because passion alone doesn't pay the bills. And unfortunately, the bills for podcasting are going up and up and up. The requirements to process your audio, the time requirements, the tools required. This year is a massive, tools upgrade for our show. I basically have to switch our entire ecosystem to Mac, Colin, just to run the next phase of the show. But the show sound quality and quality of the show is going up and up and up. I'm planning on hiring coaching for video. There's lots that's going to happen this year. But yeah, it's a constant investment of time and money. And so without, people like HyperFab, yourself, we got some others potentially lined up here supporting the show and helping us take it to the next phase. Yeah, it's very hard to continue. So, kudos to you. Thank you for your support. We need all the help we can get.
Yeah, for sure. No, that's kind of how not saying you scratch my back, I scratch your back. It's sowing and reaping is a better way to say it for sure.
Yeah.
And also into any ground, good, solid ground, right? That I believe is good and it's going to bring a lot of fruit. No, I'm just seriously, man, looking forward to the future and seeing where we're going to get to, how we're going to get there, the people along the way, like even the introduction with Vijay, just the things he's been able to do in my business.
Yeah.
Right. And he helps me. And I would have never been able to reach out to that.
No.
Find I guess I could find it. I wouldn't have that relationship. I think one of the things I'm really concentrating on for 2026 is relationships, right? I can do business, I can make commerce happen anywhere, but without a relationship, it's just a simple transaction.
It's just a transaction.
And I don't want that. I don't want it to be transactional. If I'm selling parts, yeah, that's transactional.
Yeah.
But to a point, if I'm selling parts to a customer that we can develop a relationship with, now you don't lose that customer.
No.
Right? And we're not buying that customer. We're just becoming friends with them.
Yeah.
Right? And that's where I believe loyalty comes from. And in loyalty, I think loyalty is coming back. I think it went away. I think social media made it went away. That's not good talking. It made it went away.
This sounds like the hustle to me.
It's just real. It made things change. But I think we're going to start seeing that authentic part, which you talk a lot about, relationship wise. It's going to come back. And I'm looking forward to 2026 for that reason. And I would rather for myself and in my personal life and in my business, have less relationships, but have good ones.
Yes. Yeah. And my prediction for 2026 is it'll be the year of community. I think everybody might start the year without being part of a community, but I think every single one of us, if we're professional, are leaving the year of 2026 as part of something bigger.
Yeah, for sure.
And you're seeing it blow up all over. Like, it's not just Catalyst Club, which has been amazing, but it's not just Catalyst Club. You're seeing these communities popping up all over the place, and it's not because we don't need them. It's because we needed them, and now they're available.
Yeah, we do need them. And I think community, people used to think community was your neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
If you start another group, you could call it the neighborhood, I guess. Maybe I'll steal that one. The hood, right? Welcome to the hood. But we've realized the community can actually be from here to Ukraine to wherever, right? It doesn't really matter. We're human beings all, really looking for a lot of the same thing. Yeah. And how the heck do we find it? The reason we weren't finding it is because we were going in our neighborhood. So I'm not calling it the neighborhood. That was a bad one. I'm not. But if you think about it, we were really honing in on our neighborhood, those right closest to us.
Yeah.
Well, we weren't getting it. Right. So we can make that community, the catalyst calls, all those types of things. I think we can bring it in closer from further away.
It's so funny, but I think the neighborhood, we put on the same masks we put on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
We're too close. We're too close to our community. We're too close to our neighbors. And I think on a certain level, we don't always let our guards down with them. The cool thing that's happened inside Catalyst Club is that it's a private community and everyone knows it and everybody respects that and comes there with that idea. And because we've made it a private community, people are willing to just be like, you know what, I don't know you guys, but I'm just going to share what's going on with me. And they're not met with what's wrong with this person. They're met with, oh man, me too. Like, how can we help you? Yeah. And I think that surprised me. And I think it surprised a lot of our members too, because I didn't know how people were going to show up in there. I knew what I wanted. Whether or not people were going to do it was another thing. And so it honestly is, it never ceases to blow my mind, the support people are getting there.
You know what's amazing too? It's kind of like Catalyst Anonymous, right? Hi, my name is Colin. I'm dealing with this. And they're all like, hi, Colin, we understand.
I'm a workaholic. Yeah, all of us too.
But it's in a great way, right? Yeah. That hey, we don't know you, we don't need to know you, but we're here for you.
Yeah.
And I think I learned more in that environment because I want to hear somebody's story. Yeah. I don't, it's like you and I, if all we had to do was talk to each other every single day, how are we ever going to learn something new? We didn't have time to, we didn't have experiences that other people have to hone or glean from the edges, I guess. Right. Yeah. I love to sit on those calls and listen. Right. And then you talk or somebody else talks and it goes on and on and on. I love that because then I can just go, oh, I'll take that for me. Perfect. Okay. I'll take that for me. I don't have to say anything. Yeah. I can nobody knows that I'm stealing these tidbits that are going to make my life better.
Yeah.
And then if I do feel the need to say something, I will.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think too, like the cool thing about Catalyst Club has been that we have people with such varied experience, like leaders like you in there who've been through a lot, who can support some of those younger leaders who are just getting in there for the first time. And vice versa. Some of those younger leaders bringing ideas and information and technology that us older leaders haven't quite figured out yet. Yeah. So it's cool because you have people at your level, people above you, and people below you to support. And that system feeds into itself and becomes a circular supportive system, which is amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing. And come to think of it, 2 years ago, it wasn't even birthed. It wasn't even a thought.
A year ago, it wasn't on the table. And, we talk about this all the time where, I was saying like, I like to do my annual plan. But like, if something comes up during the year that wasn't part of the annual plan, that's like still seems awesome, I'm going to pursue it. And Catalyst Club was absolutely one of those things. It was not on the 2025 plans, but it came up as something that's like, okay, there's a gap here. We can do this. I'm going to do it as part of, my coaching community anyway. Why don't I just try to build the Catalyst Club community? And so that, it wasn't in the plans, but it was, one of the best unexpected things to come out of 2025 for me, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you know what, when you think about it, so 70, how many? 75?
74 members this morning.
So 74, could be 75 by the time we hit Authentic today.
Yeah.
But you think about it, so those 74 people have the ability to plant seed in all of our lives, and vice versa, right? So what can happen in 2026 that we have no idea? We have no idea,
a lot,
right?
Yeah.
Maybe we have this innate feeling of, how is this ever going to happen? That's why we have those groups, right? That's why we have the community. That's why we do these things. That's why you put all your time into making them happen for all of us.
Yeah.
I was thinking about, you encourage me all the time to start the the Blue Sky Method podcast. It's closer for sure. I know a few weeks ago I said, no, I'm not ready. I can't do it. There's a couple things that happened recently in my life where I'm like, hey, I need to get on this and get this done. I also had to find some space in my head to say, you know what, it's going to take me an evening out of a week to produce and do all this stuff. Okay, I can do that, right?
Yeah.
I just have to prioritize. So I think going into, I love the ability now, we're a few days away from 2026, knowing, because it's like a restart. Right? It's a refresh. It's a restart. I know people don't like that. They don't like the, what are they called? Resolutions, right? I think we're headed for a good one, man. I think we're headed for a real good one.
Yeah, I have really good feelings about 2026. I don't know why. I don't know what's coming, but I know that I think historically I've maybe dreaded the coming year a little bit. And this year I don't at all. I'm just like, let's go. Like we're set up to just move forward, and I'm seeing optimism everywhere I look.
Here's another weird thing that's been happening in my mind lately is I was realizing in the last month, February 1st will be 5 years since we acquired this company.
Wow.
Five? Like how could it be 5, right? And then I think, okay, everyone's like, oh, wow, your buildings, your equipment is so amazing. And now I'm at the point, I'm like, we've polished the edges. We've done different things. We're launching new innovation. And then I find myself going, well, why didn't we do this? Why didn't we do this? How did this take so long? Like we should have done more in 5 years. And then I'm like, on the financial end of it, I'm like, nah, we did pretty good. We were very aggressive in the way we did things, how we set it up. I can't let myself go, like, why even go down that path of, well, we should have, or what we could have, right?
Yeah.
We did a lot of things, and we're flourishing. And then I look at the stats. I mean, we acquired a good business. We're making it great. I look at stats of how long businesses actually last, how many succeed, and we're already past that, right?
Yeah.
We're far past that, and where we're going is going to be amazing. But in that time frame of 5 years, we've had a pandemic, like a real one.
Like you bought it literally right before the start.
Yeah. It was like half an hour later, right? We walked out of the lawyer's office and they're like,
literally sign the paper, walk out, the world closes.
And we're like, where is everyone? Oh, it's over. The rapture's happened. And I didn't go. Honestly, it's like, okay, that was the start.
Yeah.
And then it was the, what did they call it when everybody just started quitting their jobs? The
quiet quitting?
Quiet quitting. People were quiet quitting. People were, hey, I don't want to do this anymore. Which was okay, except for the people that just bought a business.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I think, okay, what happened in 5 years? Lots happened in 5 years. Then there was the supply shortage, right? A barge got stuck in a canal, so we had no toilet paper.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then the worst part of COVID for me wasn't the COVID part. It was the loss of some friends and just over views or opinions, right? I don't like that happened, but it still affected it and
Yeah.
still has.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I like to say now as well, your opinion doesn't pay my bills, so
Yeah,
I keep
it's
going,
true.
right? But that doesn't help make friends or keep family.
No.
So then you fast forward, then in there you're on the comeback here. Okay, COVID's over, the supply shortage, and then you're really excited. There's going to be a political change, and then you're not so excited because the tariffs hit. And
Well, and I think that was a little bit shocking to Canadians. And, I mean, I know we have a lot of American listeners.
Yeah.
I don't think that we expected tariffs. I didn't.
We didn't.
Yeah. I think we weren't paying as much attention as you
That's
guys
right.
were. Let's just put it that way.
And you know what? I remember being in Portland for the election, and I was so excited. I was just so excited. I'm like,
Yeah.
just because I'm a capitalist.
A lot of
I am,
Albertans
right?
were very excited.
Yeah. And I'm
Yeah.
like, this is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
I remember, calling and texting my partner saying, this is going to be the best thing ever. And it was COVID the next day.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
And-
What's happening?
And then, the sleepless nights, the conversations, I can't watch the news anymore. I can't listen to the updates. I still think that way today. Up until even a month ago, we had a big blow and we had to figure it out. But guess what? We figure it out. That's what I think why I'm feeling so good about 2026 is we've had to figure things out.
Yeah.
We've had to shift on the fly. I've used that a lot. We shift on the fly. We shift on the fly, right? We don't just sit there and go, oh, what's happening to us? It's made us better. It's really odd to say because I certainly, Kelly, you've pulled my head out of the sand a couple times and I'm a pretty positive guy, but you've actually called me and said, hey, what's wrong? Get out of it, snap out of it.
Yeah. And yeah, I was definitely a couple times.
2 for sure.
Because I know for a fact, like usually you're the shining light out there in the world. When I'm like, Colin, the world is falling apart. And you're like, dude, you're okay. You're all good. It's all good. And then I was calling you. You're like, Kelly, the world's falling apart. And I'm like, no, dude, it's all good. It's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. 2025, I think, was out of the entire time I've known you, it was the only time I saw you go negative.
Yeah. Well, and I'll give you an example. So in the last year, for 14 months, we were working on e-commerce, right? We're going to launch a store across North America. It's going to be amazing. And it's a lot harder than we thought it was. And then tariffs hit. That screws up your store. And and I'm like, we don't need one more blow. But you know what? We launched the store. It's successful. We did a soft launch. We just opened it wide open this week. It looked good. The comments we're getting are good. That feels really good when people say that. This is amazing.
Yeah.
This is going to be amazing. But what we did do is on November 1st, we got hit with another unknown tariff because Canada decided to play a video that the president didn't like. Is that really how this world works? I guess it is.
Well, in all fairness, our prime minister and Trump could get along better.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Here's the reality. We are real people living in a sitcom. That's what we're doing, right?
Yeah.
So I can't wait till hopefully that goes back. So, November 1st, we got hit with another round of stuff and it halted our US business. Came to a halt. But what we didn't do was bury our heads in the sand. We said, okay, well, let's figure it out, right? There's got to be a way. And it took 3 weeks of us just saying the same thing. Try harder. Let's keep going. Call more people. Figure it out. And the answer, I actually like it when people say, that won't work. Bet you it will.
Yeah.
Let's
it's
find
like,
a
have
way.
you tried it?
Have you tried this? Have you tried that?
Yeah.
And we ended up on numerous phone calls with people we did not know, having great conversations. Some were dead ends. Other ones were great until we finally had a conversation and the guy said, we'll try this. And we did, and it worked. But it's just taught us, keep peeling back the layers, keep peeling back the layers. When somebody says, oh, this is going to kill a business or this is going to kill an industry. Okay, are you just pulling the pin? That's it? Or are you going to keep trying? Are you going to... We can't become just a Canadian business. That's not an option for us, and we don't want it to be. And then people say to me, well, Colin, why don't you go over the pond? I said, well, I'm 45 minutes from the U.S. border. I kind of like that one.
Not to mention, we're about 4,000 kilometers from the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah. I'm like, you know what? Like, I that's the part of it that I don't want to hear. But guess what? All I think is in this last year, it just keeps making us better.
Yeah.
It keeps making me a better person. Like, even I thought, okay, I'm getting tired. I'm doing this. What do I have to do? I have to get healthier. So I think I told you, Kelly, and I'll throw that in there. I woke up, I watched the Super Bowl, I ate pizza, I drank some beer, like a lot, I think. And
I think.
when I say I'm scaling up, I want to scale my business, not me.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, which doesn't matter, just for me, a personal thing. But I've dropped 45 pounds in less than a year.
Wow.
And I haven't done it like in 1 month. So mentally, I'm feeling better. I think I'm seeing clearer. Physically, I'm feeling better. I got some goals where I want to get to next year. But once again, it proved to me, I'll just use that in this journey, in this part of the conversation. I think I fought that mentally where I couldn't beat it for like 25, not 25, probably 20 years. And I would just fall back into it. Now my mind is set, okay, this is where I'm going to be by the end of June.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm going to be there.
Yeah.
So these weird things, if you call them adversity or whatever you may call them, I think we can use them to our advantage. Right? Like, okay, let's hit me again. Watch me come back. Right?
Yeah.
It's like, what's the meme? There's a meme where the devil's sitting in the back, whatever the devil looks like. And all he says, oh, shit, he woke up again.
Well, okay. I do have to say, though, 2025 has been probably a monumental financially changing year for you, right? Like between the real estate doing really well, HyperFab, going through challenges, but frankly doing really well. Would you say that financially 2025 has been one of the best years of your life?
Best year ever, by far.
Yeah.
So which is...
has that bought you the time to start to focus on the things that really matter to you?
You know what? I think it did buy me time. It bought me the mental capacity to know how to get through some more things. Does that make sense? Like, it's not that, I got to be clear, it's never broke, not even close. I'm not that guy. Oh, you got to hit rock bottom. I don't think you do. And I don't think you want to. Things weren't always easy, but I think what happened there mentally, it put me in a state of, okay, we can do this, right? We can get to the next level. Okay. Yeah, we can do this. Like even as a business, we made great financial strides, if you will, and really good decisions as a partnership that got us ahead and got us to a point of no turning back.
Yeah.
And then even with the real estate business, I don't know, like I've been licensed 16 years or 17 years. I don't know why this was the year. Maybe I got better at building relationships. I know for sure I got better at responding to people.
Yeah.
In the way I did, right? It wasn't so transactional, right? Like I had to really care to make things happen. And it just flowed, right? Like it was, I would say I was in the flow for real estate. And then for 2026, I don't just say, oh, I'm not going to look back and go, that was a great year. Oh, I wish I could do that again. I'm actually preparing to beat it.
Yeah.
So yeah, for sure. You're correct. That did help a lot, especially when there's so much adversity and you're like, what is going on here? Why is this happening to us?
Yeah.
When I stopped saying, why is this happening to us and what can we do about it? That was the game changer.
I would say too, like one of the big differences between 2024 and 2025 for you is you were a lot more public in 2025 as well, right?
True.
Not just with Authentic Hustle, but like you were more active on LinkedIn. You've been on, other shows.
Yeah.
You're part of the Lethbridge Chamber of Commerce now. Not part of it, but literally leading part of it on the board. Like you have made a big effort to be more out there. And I wonder how much of that has played to your favor.
Yeah, I think you're right. Years ago, what I would call networking, I did meet a lot of people, right? I met a lot of people. Fortunate to have different positions with some companies that I ended up meeting a lot of business people and not realizing how great those relationships were, even locally, right? That would come back to feed me later.
Yeah.
And just by being authentic. And I still see that today, every day that happens. Our friend Jory has labeled me, he said he's getting me a thing for my desk that says instant family.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Just because you meet people and they become instant family.
Yeah.
Right? But I think, yeah, it's just been a really good year for that for sure. And I think all of that ties into helping my headspace. And you know what? I think it's made me a better husband. Like I've really noticed myself change. And it's kind of weird, like when you notice yourself change. I don't think I ever have before until now, where I'm like, oh, you know what? Like, why was I like that?
Yeah.
You know, I'm gracious. My wife didn't tell me to shut up or whatever. And I catch myself, and then I'm like, you know what? I've always thought of myself as a good dad, but then I'm like looking through the eyes of my kids. Was I? Like why would I have acted like that? Why would I have acted like that in front of my kids?
Yeah.
Why couldn't I just button my lip and not let them hear that? And so I'm really cognizant of that now, and nowhere near perfect and never will be, but certainly better than I was. And trying, I could read a million books. I listen to audiobooks, but when I do it now, I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this with intention. I need to take something from this and actually apply it to my life, not tell Kelly how this will work for him. And one of those, I think I've told you, is Mel Robbins' Let Them.
Yeah.
Right. And did you read it or have you heard it? I have a copy for you.
I haven't read it yet.
Okay, I have a copy for you. I just, my wife's like, why did you buy all these books? I'm like, you told me to buy it. And I have to tell this story. My wife says, you should buy this book. And I said, what is it? Mel Robbins, Let Them. And I'm like, oh yeah, is it good? She's like, it'd be great for you. I'm like, oh, wow. Okay. So I download it that day.
Yeah.
And I binge listen. And I listen to it. And then I'm like, everything, I'm like, let them, let me, let you, I'm going on and on and on. She's like, why are you doing that? I'm like, well, it's in the book you told me to read. She's like, I never read it. She goes, I said it would be good for you. And so actually it was 2 days ago. She's like, you got a package in the mail. Why do you have 10 Let Them books? I go, people need them. Like this was so good for me. I think it would be good for other people.
Yeah.
But I think that, I'm trying to think if it was 3 or 4 months ago I read it, that it really transformed the way I think. And I mean, it wasn't the answer, right? But it was me allowing myself to let go of a lot of things.
Yeah.
Right. And some people that were in my life that I'm like, oh, why is that happening? Why is that happening? And not worrying about it for the rest of my life. And it's been really freeing. And my wife actually says, like, does nothing bother you? And I'm like, I did. What about that? Well, let them.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you were like that before Let Them. And so now it's just,
it's
made you like a super let it go
them.
guy.
Yeah. And so much, maybe Mel Robbins maybe she'll listen to our podcast.
Yeah.
She might have to, because I'm actually going to see her in Vancouver. Like,
oh, cool.
Which is bizarre.
Yeah.
Like I like concerts. I like games.
Yeah.
And I said to my wife, hey, in May, we're going to Vancouver. Oh, for what? I said to see Mel Robbins. And she just laughed. Are you kidding? I'm like, no. And I go, and the tickets were more than a concert.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when something impacts your life, that's what you should do.
Sure. Yeah. No, it's funny because me and Shelby were having a very similar conversation the other day, because, you celebrated 5 years with HyperFab. I was actually celebrating 5 years with Capital.
Yeah.
And we were talking about how, like, man, like, I've changed a lot in that time, but like, I haven't noticed any of it. It's like it's only when you reflect back and you're like, wow, I was like a really different person back then.
Yeah.
You're like, holy crap, like, we're actually changing all the time. And she was kind of making the case that, like, you're changing all the time. So how are you controlling that change? How are you influencing the person that you're becoming? And I think maybe that's one of the things that we all have to be more conscious about, is that you are being put in situations that are forcing you to grow and change. You're changing all the time. Are you conscious of it? Or are you directing it in a path that you want to go? Because it's happening either way.
Yeah, I think that's good. That's key. I think when you start to realize, or you start to look in the mirror and actually see what's happening, I think that's the biggest difference. And maybe it's my age, right? I keep saying this, like, every year older, I get it. Why, my senior friends say things to me and I'm like, I get it. Like, I'm
You're
getting
like, oh no,
there.
now I understand what they're saying.
And when you start to look through what they've seen, right, you're looking through what you've seen, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think the other one is, I heard it this way: when we stop looking through stained glass, right, we see things clearer. And that may sound simple, but it's profound because we put these stained glasses on because this didn't happen. But Kelly tells me something about a situation and right away I've got stained glasses on. That's what I start thinking, right? We have to think for ourselves. We have to, what is good for me, right? It's not selfish, but you have to be selfish sometimes when what's good for me and my family? What's good for me? I need some time. I need to take a break. I need to push harder. What's good for me? So what glasses are you looking through? Are you looking through stained glasses or are you looking through clear glass? So,
yeah, I think we all have a lot of reflection to do.
we do.
I guess ultimately it's hard to see the future. My crystal ball's broken, has been for a while.
Yeah.
Catalyst Club is a great example of that. It wasn't even remotely in the plans and turned out to be one of the greatest things to happen out of 2025. So it's kind of one of those things where ultimately you can't see the future coming, but you can influence it. It's like, obviously, my coaching, this podcast, the things that I was working on was leading to something like that. I didn't have that in the plans, but it became obvious at some point that was something that we should start pursuing because we can make a difference with it. I was just ready to say yes. But that doesn't mean that the choices I was making along the way weren't leading me to a place where I could say yes. And so to say that you can't see the future and you have no influence isn't completely true, because every action you take every day is building your legacy and leading you to the next point. So what actions are you taking today that are leading you to be able to say yes to that great opportunity you can't see coming?
Well, and you know what? A simple thing is success leaves clues, right? It does. It doesn't matter what vocation you're in, what you're doing. Success leaves clues. So if you want to be successful in any situation, right? It's not just business, like any part of your life. What are you looking for, right? Where are you looking for it? And I'll use like what you were saying is I go into the Catalyst GPT, right? So business development. So the more info that's in there, or GPT in general, right?
Yeah.
We can go pull something out what we need very quickly. It really helps us not fail. It moves us forward if we just keep looking for it. If it's never been easier to find answers, it's never been easier to find clues, I guess.
Yeah.
I use it. my permanent Christmas lights on my house don't work. They say, quit using that for, it's not Google. No, it's better actually.
It's better than Google. Yeah.
So I'm going to keep using it. And it helps me in my daily, everything we do, we can reach out somewhere and find an answer, right? Yeah. Whereas before it was like, who said it? Somebody said, or maybe it was on, was it Jake Gold? He said, you used to have to record a tape.
Yeah.
Mail it to somebody. They'd have to listen to it. If they actually listened to it, the barrier to entry he was talking about, right?
Yeah.
Our barrier to entry for anything, personal life, anything, is pretty limited. We can go after it. And I don't want to be cliche, but I never actually say that, what is it? Shoot for the stars or whatever.
Yeah, shoot for the moon. And if you miss, you hit the stars.
You hit the stars, right? So in reality, though, as long as we're trying and as long as we can convince ourselves that we can get there or we can do something, we really can, right? Yeah. Like you convince yourself that you can or you can't. You're right. So
yeah. Whether you believe you can or you believe you can't, you're right. So you might as well believe you can.
Yeah, right. And my dad actually taught me, right? You got to think anyway, so you might as well think big.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's a pretty easy choice.
Yeah. No, it's interesting for sure. Like I said, I have really good feelings about 2026. I don't know what it is. I can't see the future.
Yeah.
But what I can say is that if we continue the momentum we have right now, 2026 will be our biggest year yet in every way.
Yeah. And one last thing for me is, Kelly, I think the good thing about not being able to see the future is we would screw it up.
Yeah.
Right? If we knew, because we would do, I'm going to divert from that. I'm going to do this. I think the ability to shift on the fly comes from experience. That's the Catalyst Club. I don't have to have the experience, but Kelly can have the experience. VJ can have the experience. Nate can have the experience. Whoever is on there, we can learn from. And that's another one, like a great, lead in for the Catalyst Club is success leaves clues, right?
Yeah.
That's what that's about, right?
Yeah.
You need some clues, go there.
Yeah, and it's not just that. Like sometimes you just need a place to vent. Like
Mm-hmm.
to truly just be like, I'm struggling. Like I'm genuinely struggling because every single one of us have days like that. Even you know, it's like we had that conversation earlier on. Like 2025 was the only time I'd ever seen you have those days.
Yeah.
And it's like everybody has those days. We have to stop pretending that everyone's got their shit together 24/7.
Yeah.
It's not true. But
Yeah.
you need a safe space to be able to come to. And so, like I said, even if Catalyst Club community isn't for you, if you're hearing this show today, I want you to start researching communities that do align with you. You
Mhm.
will find benefit in them, even virtual online communities like Catalyst Club. It's powerful, and you will be surprised at how much you have in common with people around the world.
Yeah, 100%. And you know, I just thought of it too is every day in our lives, I can't even imagine being a commodity trader, right? Because it's up, it's down, it's up, it's down, it's up, it's down. It's historically down, it's up. And I don't know where that happy medium is, but that's our lives, right? We have no idea what tomorrow is going to be. We have no idea what the next day is going to be. And that's probably for the better.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
If we, like you said, if we knew everything, life would be so boring.
right? Like if we knew, I like hockey, but if I actually knew the Stanley Cup's going to be like, I don't know why it's going to go like to almost July before they play. That's how long the season goes. But if we actually knew, it wouldn't even be good.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. If you knew the outcome, it wouldn't be worth watching.
Yeah. And you know what? We forecast in our businesses. We do all that type of thing. We run P&Ls, but we don't really know, right? We don't really know what's going to happen next month.
Yeah.
We forecast for it and, you know, and we deal with whatever the outcome is.
Yeah.
But you know what? I would things be different if we knew exactly what was going to happen? I don't know if that would be for the good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe the bank would be happy.
Yeah. I think I have to hit on something though with HyperVac because, you know, you guys have been working on some stuff behind the scenes for a while. And, you know, obviously, if you've listened to the show, you've heard the HyperFab ads. You're going to hear more of them. You haven't just been building vac trucks. You've been constantly looking for how do we do this better? How can we fabricate our own bodies? So literally you built a fabrication facility in your back 40.
Yeah.
And it's HyperFab. And so that's just starting to get its legs. But like, I think we have to talk about that is that like long before the tariffs, you were already planning for diversification with HyperFab.
Yeah.
And so in some ways, you're better set up for 2026 than you ever could have been. HyperFab is going to go fully active, and we're going to be talking about a lot on this show. But, you know, introduce our listeners to what you were doing with regards to diversification that, frankly, now is starting to pay off in your favor.
Yeah. So what we did was when we purchased the company, 100% of our work and our manufacturing was subcontracted, like literally 100%. And we slowly wanted more control of that situation, not knowing how that would look because on the outside looking in or any advice we were getting is subcontract's probably the way to go. We said, no, we want more control. We want to control our timelines. We want to control our quality, but we actually have no idea how to do that. So we start researching. We order equipment. We bring it in-house. We take, you know, like the beautiful part is my partners are not adverse to risk. Let's do it. Right?
Yeah.
We build a business case. Let's do it. We implement those things. We go after it. And that's where in 5 years, we've done a lot. But when you're in it, you're like, okay, there it is. Right? It feels like it's harder.
Yeah.
And so we start to cut our own trucks. We start to bend our own trucks. We start to weld our own trucks. We bring that in-house. We're hiring people. We're hiring the right people, putting the right people on the bus. Not easy, right? At all. But as we start to see it come to reality, you know, as the weeks go by, as a year goes by, we're like, whoa, wow, that's amazing. We're actually bringing this in. Then we're 40%, we're 50%, we're 60%. All of a sudden now we're at 100%. We control the flow completely. We buy the material. We control the flow of the material. We control the fabrication part of it. Right down to all of a sudden people hear about the equipment we have, people doing deliveries and word gets around. Hey, could you cut this for us? Could you bend this for us? And then we're like, I'm seeing the stuff we're producing and I'm like, we're doing that? Right? And then obviously Blue Sky Colin says, well, why don't we have HyperFab?
Yeah.
And so fast forward to today, which hasn't taken that long, you know, we're going to evolve in 2026 into a huge game player. We are going to be a player in that space. Part of it was we had to get there in our heads.
Yeah.
We had to know we could do it. We had to realize that sometimes if you build it, they will come. That's real. You have to do it. You have to have the people you're involved with believe in that as well. They believe in you, and then they believe we can go do it. Now Kelly's going to be a big part of that. But we had to get to that part where, we can bring those resources in to help us, but only when we know we can do it. So now we're going to go do it. And I think we had a meeting last week, Kelly, you were involved. And this is how current this is. We're not talking about 6 months ago. We're talking about it was like 72 hours ago. we had a meeting, but that meeting really catapulted us forward or out there to believe what we can do. So now it's going to be website, it's going to be business development, it's going to be RFPs. And we've actually said, Kelly, even you don't know this, since our conversation internally, we've said, okay, we need to take over the other 7,500 square feet of our building because we're going to need this.
Yeah.
How do we double our production? Okay, this is how we do it. How many people are we going to need? We're not forecasting just a P&L. We're forecasting a completely different business.
Yeah.
Right. And I did joke the other day, any of my air duct truck customers, if you're ever listening, I did say, maybe one day we won't even sell those trucks. Right? Because maybe we won't. Right? Maybe we become a completely different industry. I've been reading about the history of where businesses started and what they are today. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
But that's where we're headed. So I think 2026 is going to be like ridiculously fun.
The only thing consistent in business
is change.
There's no way that a company lasts 100 years without significant change. And I would say 9 times out of 10, they're creating completely different products than they started. But
that's right.
As long as you go into it with that idea and not be so rigid and say, you know what, I'm just going to see what comes. It doesn't necessarily have to be exactly what we did before, but it can be a place we evolve to. You're going to be okay. It's the companies that get so rigid and refuse to change that end up in the biggest challenge.
Yeah. And recently, I think I was telling you about the Amazon book I read or listened to, and it really opened my mind to how many times they failed.
Yeah.
Right. Which was eye-opening to me because you don't see that, right? On the outside looking in, you don't see, Jeff Bezos, he's a failure. No, he's like the second richest guy in the world.
Yeah.
Right. In like 20 years, he went from that to that.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm aspiring to do. But what I love to hear or what I was reading about is, okay, they threw this at the wall, they went after it. Okay, that didn't work, shift on the fly, right? Then they morphed into a different business. Then they morphed into a different business. Then they morphed into a different business. And they do that every day.
Yes.
Right? Like they're not stopping. Like they become a shipping company. They become, a distribution company. They become a warehousing company. They become a technology company. And so that's kind of like leading into, HyperFab, and our store, which is going to be multi-layered as well. I'm just so excited where before I didn't know how can you make this happen because I'm not that person. But now I'm like, well, we can just meet people.
Yeah.
You ever heard of VJ?
Yep.
And who that guy knows. And we're always that, 6 degrees of separation or whatever they call it. We're that close to those people at any given time. We just have to keep asking. So that's what I think is going to be, a year from now, if we have another podcast, it'll be completely different.
Yeah.
I think I will be, the people that we're hiring now is going to make me be a different person.
Yes.
Right. I'm going to move to a different position. We're doing that right now, and that's going to be a game changer.
Yeah, it's Amazon never ceases to amaze me, man. Like the fact that we can hop on our phone and order something and have it sometimes on our step before the day is over.
Yeah.
Absolutely just blows my mind. And it's all conducted and coordinated by Amazon. So they deliver stuff better than Canada Post.
I got to tell you a great story. So we, through our e-commerce, we use Amazon as a distribution partner, right? Depends, right? Because we did it within weeks of me listening to this book. And so we get an order, I guess, online. Guy orders something from New Jersey. He gets charged $40 for shipping, and he gets it the next morning. And so he calls me. I just want to know, how does this work? I paid $40 for shipping, but it was here. I go, so you're upset that you got it too fast? You wanted it to come like on a horse?
I was gonna say, if I could have shipped through Amazon, you would have had your Christmas gifts yesterday.
Well, but dude, it proved to me the process works.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I had to explain we work through our Amazon distribution partners. It's drop shipped. This is what it is. Okay. Yeah, fine. I thought for $40 it would take longer. What? Let's go back to 1980.
Yeah.
But to me, that's the amazing part of where, because that transaction happened and he called me and voiced his concern. He paid too much for shipping for very fast shipping. Okay. I get it. Whatever. It made me believe for that much more. If we can do that, and that was in New Jersey, right?
Yeah.
Where, we made it happen. I'm just like, yeah, okay, Bezos, you're onto something here.
Yeah.
You're so far onto it that we can do it. So I look at it, how do we format our store the same way they do?
Yeah. Yeah. I think I was talking to Shelby the other day, who said that Canada Post had been outsourcing some of their shipping to Amazon.
Yeah. Because they're better at it.
They're just so good at it. Yeah, exactly. It's, I think at Christmas time, Canada Post has to outsource to Amazon. Like, there's just too many packages.
Yeah. So any business, doesn't matter what, anybody listening, any business that you're in, success leaves clues.
Yeah.
Right. There's no better advice than that, is look at what they're doing. Maybe it's a competitor, right? Like I can't wait for my competitors to see our site. And you know what? I hope they ramp up, because that'll make us ramp up.
Yeah.
Right. The better they do, the better we do. That's the way it is, right? Let's get competitive.
It's a big friggin' world, right? Like, even if, I want you to think about this, even if there were, let's call it 20 other vac truck manufacturers at your capacity, the reality is the whole world can potentially be your customer. That's a pretty big marketplace.
Yeah. And that's the part of where people said, even, why don't you go over the pond? And I'm like, there's 360 million people, 45 minutes across that border.
Yeah.
That's a big market.
And I think we talked about this, but I think that for you guys and HyperFab specifically, that's going to put you in a very unique position, because you can ultimately ship to the US and fabricate for the US, as well as you fabricate for Canada, being so close to the border.
That's right. And I think for HyperFab too, with the Buy Canadian, the big push, even the Prime Minister's putting that on now. And if they continue on with that, I think there's so much market out there that we have no idea.
Yeah.
That we can go from this to this. We just have to be smart about how we do it. I just think that really the sky's the limit, right? There's just so much it doesn't matter what you're in. Just look around. There's so much out there for you to take.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a big world, people, and it's a global marketplace, and it's getting easier and easier and easier for you to facilitate that. Yeah. So I think that's a great place to end today's show, Colin.
Yeah.
Man, I always love chatting with you. Thank you for your support. We wouldn't be at 300 without you. We wouldn't have this beautiful Signal Award without you. That's super cool. And I'm super proud of our Signal Award. And here's why. We were the only Canadian show that made the business category for 2025 at the Signal Awards.
Yeah.
And we are the only independent show. Every other show was part of a $1 billion network. And there was us, supported by you. And I think that speaks volumes. Volumes. We earned the crap out of this thing.
Yeah, you did. And you know what? It's a we thing, right?
Yeah.
And that's why we have to support each other. We have to endorse each other. And we have to show it off. Right? Yeah. If you don't show it off, people don't know about it. So
yeah. Right? And speaking to my other Canadian podcasters, American podcasters, just because you're independent doesn't mean you can't be a top show. You absolutely can be.
That's right.
All right. That is episode 301. Here is to an epic next 100. Thank you for your support, Colin. Looking forward to having HyperVac and HyperFab on board here, and let's make 2026 our best year yet.
Cheers.
Until next time, you've been listening to the Business Development Podcast, and we'll catch you on the flip side.
This has been the Business Development Podcast with Kelly Kennedy. Kelly has 15 years in sales and business development experience within the Alberta oil and gas industry and founded his own business development firm in 2020. His passion and his specialization is in customer relationship generation and business development. The show is brought to you by Capital Business Development, your business development specialists. For more, we invite you to the website at www.capitalbd.ca. See you next time on the Business Development Podcast.
Hey, rock stars, if your fab shop's overwhelmed or your supplier's missing deadlines, that's not just frustrating, it's costing you real money. That's why you call HyperFab. Based in Lethbridge, Alberta, Canada, and trusted across North America, they deliver custom metal fabrication for industries where precision and speed matter most. Construction, oil and gas, manufacturing, and agriculture. From fiber laser cutting and CNC bending to welding, assembly, and finishing, they do it all in-house with fast turnarounds, tight tolerances, and no handoffs. One prototype, full production, no problem. HyperFab shows up when others can't and delivers when others don't. Head to www.hyperfab.com or call Colin Harms at 1-403-308-3308. Fabrication without compromise. That's the HyperFab edge.